Okie dokie. So today we are racking and stabilizing the ginger beer mead, whatever you want to call it. So I've got all my things here and sanitized in the black bucket of sanitization. So let's first bring this over and we're going to take a reading because that's what you do every time you rack. You take a reading, making sure that it actually is done. Because as you can, I don't know if you can see, there's still some pressure inside because these are not exactly level. So throw that in there. Get my little pipette. There we go, got my phone. Turn that bad baby on. There we go. Measure, taste. The ginger is becoming a little bit more forward, and we are at 6.4% bricks, which is a little bit lower than last time, so it has fermented just a little bit, if I'm remembering correctly. Let's look at the history of the photos, shall we? Ah, yes, last time it was at 8.3%. So yeah, it definitely has gone down a little bit. All right, so there's that. I'm gonna wipe that out. Actually, instead of wiping it out, I'm gonna get a pH reading because waste not, want not. All right. I'd say the pH is a solid, it's a solid 2 is what I'm seeing. So, as expected. Wipe that out. Turn that off. Put those together. And now we're gonna rack. So, first things first, get all my pieces put together. Get this bad boy up. And I think we have fixed, wet. We have fixed a little bit of the racking situation by cutting the tubing considerably. Here we go, get all that out. I don't necessarily want the sanitation fluid in my brew. There we go. Okay, there's just a little bit in there. All right, gonna go about most of the way down. Ooh. Okay, this is not ideal because this could have introduced some oxygen. So what I'm gonna do is get the other one. We're gonna place that gently there. There we go, gentle, all the gentle. We're gonna get the other piece of this that's actually a little bit longer. That should work. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. And there she goes. Oh, no. There we go. I did go with the cap on because there is just the tiniest little bit of lees at the bottom. So I'll keep the cap on for both of the gallons. I'm going to start the lean. So what else is going to happen with the stabilization is that it's actually going to flocculate even more, bring more sediment out. So this is also a good thing because then we don't have sediment in the bottom of our keg and we don't drink that. Because yes, this is going to get kegged in a few days. Okay. And that's as much, I'm happy with that amount of loss that leaves is doing its thing. So there's 1 gallon. Gentle. If you can't tell, that's all lees. All gunky. It's not tasty. I can say from experience. Gallon number 2. Here we go. Oh no. Gotta get that out. There we go. Okay. And now gallon number 2. So the reason that we're stabilizing is because we're going to backsweeten with ginger syrup to enhance that ginger flavor. Even though this was infused, it fermented with ginger, it doesn't have quite the kick of ginger that we're looking for. So, and it's not quite as sweet as we would like, especially if it's going to be carbonated. So it's just one of those things that you can pasteurize after back sweetening, or you can stabilize then back sweeten. It's just a matter of preference. I'm not set up to pasteurize, so chemically stabilizing is what I'm doing. And we start the lean. And these were cold crashed for about 48 hours, 36, 48, something like that, to help with the sediment at the bottom, the lees. There's that. All right. Put that in. There we go. Rachel making a mess. 2025. All right. So we've got, according to our lovely, we are literally just like a millimeter short of 2 gallons. So this is fantastic. All right, so next I have my sanitized spattle. It's a spoon, it's a spattle, joy. And to stabilize this lovely brew, we've got potassium sorbate and we've got Camden tablets. The Camden tablets are crushed to enable to dissolve in the liquid. So 1 Camden tablet per gallon, so 2 tablets, all nice and crushed, in you go. And then according to the packaging on the potassium sorbate, it's 1/2 gram to 3/4 gram per gallon. So I went ahead and did 1.5 grams. So very, very little stuff. I have like 200 some odd grams of this, so I'm set for a good long while. But in it goes. And we give it a stir. This is also going to help with degassing, because that gas builds up during the brew. It seems counterintuitive considering the fact that we're going to carbonate this, but we want to control the carbonation. Oh, we've got big clumps in here. That's why they want you. Oh, big clumps. Big clump. There we go. Oh, they're in the bubbles, I see. Okay, gotta turn around to even use the spoon because the paddle side is just not working for killing those big clumps. All right, I'm gonna call that good enough. All right, gonna put the lid on. This lid is so finicky. Lid and an airlock. Not that one. I'm gonna use that one. There we go. All right, and airlock. And we're gonna let this sit for a few days. And I'm probably gonna cold crash it again so that all that sediment ends up at the bottom. So see you in a few days.